It's important to work with the materials. Let me see if I get a little more light here. Yes, it's important to work with the materials in life you love, or at least like. Some people like earth or sand, or people, or animals, or birds, or an assortment of things. That is the first fundamental things and what you are great at, or at least some natural talent for. If for you hate vacuum cleaners, like me, you will never be a happy vacuum cleaner salesman. Like I wasn't. It was against my grain. As I was 17, 18. Our minds have a natural flow. Some like a lot of chaos, others like quiet and solitude. Some like a little of each. So if you're a person who likes solitude, an ER at the hospital would not be a good place for you. You need to get foundational things right first before jumping into any business that you want to be compatible with. If you hate books, you can't stand to look at them, and then go into the book business and start a bookstore and start writing books, that could be a problem. You will not have the staying power to keep going because you're working with what you hate, and it's just not going to work out. So when you have to go through the rough phases of your business and you're not making any money, then you're going to quit because you have no staying power for what you didn't like to start with. You'll be stuck handling what you hate, books, the rest of your life. Who knows for how long? Now, there might be a very small niche about books you do like, for example, designing beautiful covers for people's books. So sometimes, if you niche down far enough, you might find some gold in all that dirt in any business. But this may be the hard way to find your life's work. But now, if you love books, you love handling them, you love the smell of them, you will easily find what specialties that you like, and just handling books generally, and be very happy. You cannot choose a work just because it makes a lot of money, for the very simple reason that then money will run your life, and that you wouldn't be controlling it, money would, and you don't need to have money controlling your life. It's a very good servant, very bad boss. When you get to the end of your rope, living life backwards, letting things control you, it's not good. You will live a quiet life of desperation. Life is running you rather than you running your life. Always striving but never arriving at a destination you wanted because you let the roadmap tell you where to go rather than using it to take you where you wanted to go. That satisfying place that would have helped you. I believe all men have greatness in them, every man. Whether others think so or not is unimportant. It's a satisfying life. You need not a life that pleases others to have a satisfying life. A life that you get great pleasure out of. Because in the end, if you built a huge home or business or life you despised, what good was it? You hated the journey, and that's most of the time. So then you'll hate the destination. Break ties from such a life. There's always today to change it. Slowly or quickly, but change such a life. It's not a living. It's a slow death with many cuts. If each accomplishment builds a life you didn't want and is taking you to a destination you didn't dream of, the dream then becomes a nightmare. And if you say, I will keep going, doing what I hate to arrive at where I'd like to be, you're not going to get there. You're going in the wrong direction. Some seek the benefit of a thing like pleasure, but you can't get pleasure without it being based on something you enjoy. You have to have work that gives you pleasure. Like that, people try to seek money for itself, but money is a spin-off, is a subsidiary of doing something. And you better be doing something that causes you pleasure and joy. So you can live the life and do what causes you to enjoy. Don't be seeking the byproduct of a living, but seek the essence of the byproduct. I would say that all pursuits can produce money. Now, some will produce far more than others, but a small paycheck doing what you can't wait to get up in the morning to do is far more important than a big paycheck for something that you dread. Those that serve the poor and truly enjoy it, not to just look pious, or that they only work they could find but hate it, the ones that can't wait to get up in the morning to feed families that need help, is a hero's life. But if you're there feeding poor because that's the only job you could get, and you hate the poor, you hate what you're doing, you hate feeding people, you're in the wrong place. And if doing large financial deals that help a vast amount of people and get good pay and meet the great people in your life, this could be a very, very satisfying position. Of course, anything that produces the money is a great boon, but that's not the answer. It's the joy of the work. But to seek that work, not liking any of the mechanics to get there, will probably create a business that misuses employees, it focuses on profit, it's motivated by all the wrong factors, and causes a miserable life, because where money is your only goal, it's a very bad taskmaster for you and others. Let money be a byproduct of living a satisfying life, whether the money is big or small. I would rather be a doorman in the house of the Lord than the king of a miserable kingship. I would rather have a little corner of a good life than a vast mansion of misery. And don't think that if you rob and pillage your way through life, you will change once you arrive at wealth and be a great giver. It won't happen. You can't build a good life on a bad foundation. It just won't happen. The good news is that every day God gives us another chance to make things good, and to go in the direction that was for us. Hope springs eternal. God doesn't care where you've been. Thank goodness. He only cares about where you're going. And the solution is in today, not tomorrow. Amen.